All right, so we just wrapped up the How to Sell with Confidence webinar, and now for everybody that signed up to the actual training to actually learn how to do that and the step-by-step process for doing that, very simple. You go here to the sign in. When you sign in as a student, this is what you're going to see. All right, so first things first is you're going to start with lesson one. There's 8 modules. Okay, each module is about an hour. What we recommend, especially if you have a larger team, is that you just, for the managers, everybody should just have everybody start one module a week, so 1 hour a week over an 8-week period. You can go through it a little faster, especially if you're an individual, you want to proceed through it a little bit faster. But the reason why we do it, it's called micro learning. It's actually way more effective than in-person training or live training in general, because when you study something in micro learning and you study something for like an hour and you get everything you need, and then you practice what you've learned for an entire week before learning the next steps, you retain it longer. You're going to start seeing sales growth. You're going to see retention. And I think the last study was about 60% higher than traditional live training, whether it's in person or live online. So the on-demand platform is really starting to take off. A lot of people are starting to catch on because it's getting better results. So with that being said, you want shorter bursts of training rather than these longer sessions. So when you log in, you see session 1 right here. You're going to start with the video. You just simply click the video, and it's going to start the session. Most of these videos can be a lot short. This one I might be like 20 minutes. You can pause it, etc. When you're done with the actual lesson plan, right? What you're going to, this is, so module 1 right here, your new opening value statement. The first part is your video. Then there's going to be an exam that you take. Okay, there's going to be a couple examples. There's going to be 5 questions. You have to get 100% correct in order to pass and to move on. The reason we do that is as there's 2 things. For you as a sales rep, we want to make sure you fully understood everything before you move on. We don't want to have any gaps in the learning process. And so what you do is if you don't get 100% right, 2 things. Just go back to the video, rewatch that one section. You could also reach out to your training coordinator for help. But when you go back to take the exam again, it's from a data bank. There are going to be different questions, but still on the same material. It's going to be worded differently to make sure that when you pass it, we know that you've got it. You know that you've got it. And the other thing was so that your managers will know that you understood and got it as well. Okay? You take the exam, you pass that. You're going to get your 1-page sales call strategy cheat sheet here. You'll be able to print this out. This is what you're going to be learning through the actual training program. See, as we discussed in the How to Sell with Confidence webinar, you need a talk track. You need to know what the sales stages are and how to execute each step and how they link together so you can seamlessly have the confidence to pick up the phone and get a conversation going. And as we talked in the first webinar on how to sell with confidence, nothing else happens if you can't pique interest. So you have to learn how to pique interest in order to get the conversation going. So you're going to be able to get this whole 1-page call strategy. And then this is the entire process you're going to be learning through the training program. The next thing is your step-by-step guide to openers. Going to, again, you print this out. It's going to be your cheat sheet regarding your opening value statements. And then you'll be able to go ahead and print out your word-for-word sales script template so you can custom create your own opening value statement based on the information that you've learned. The next thing is there's going to be an actual audio example, because it's not what you say, it's what you say and how you say it. So you're going to hear an example of the type of cadence and inflection when you're using your opening value statement. We want you to be you, okay? So it's very important that you use your own unique personality, put that in there, but we also want to give you examples of what it should sound like as well, so you can get some ideas for yourself, okay? And then you have your ROI here, how to open a sales call, role-playing guide. This is especially for the managers. We highly recommend that you look at this because, sure, we recommend the 1 hour of training per week, but then we also want you to have your team go through about 10 to 15 minutes a day of these role-playing assignments each week, between each lesson that's going to happen every week. So if you start on a Tuesday, you do the training on Tuesday for the first module. Every day thereafter, we recommend 10 to 15 minutes of role-playing with your team on what they learned for that first module. And then it's going to be rinse and repeat over the next 8 weeks. Or like I said, if you want to do it in 4 weeks, you can. You just double up, but we wouldn't recommend any faster than that if you want retention. One of the last things on the module 1, there's some bonus videos, some very important things that you should look at on YouTube that I have. How to identify your client's ICP. Should you ask, how are you when you're calling? The I'm in a meeting blow off, what to do, and then just to send me the email response. All is going to be in there for you. You get all that done in week 1. You role play, you practice, you get really good. Next thing you know, your team is starting to, there's a buzz in the room, no pun intended, but they're starting to get more conversations going. But now they're going to start to say, hey, what do I do when I get a gatekeeper or I get voicemail? Well, that's module 2, right? And it's just a rinse and repeat. You're going to keep going through the entire process here through that. Once you've mastered what to say when the prospect answers the phone, or if you get a gatekeeper on the phone, or if you get voicemail, and then you learn how to get those tools, the gatekeeper and voicemail, to get the prospect on the phone. And once you run your opening value statement so the prospect is willing to take your call, you have to know what to say next. And that's where you get into your engagement questions, okay? This is critical. This is probably the most important. If I had to pick one module out of all of them that are most important, it's this right here. And so this is going to show you, once again, you'll see. Let's go ahead. You got your video. You take your exams. You have your step-by-step guide. And then the next week, again, you do your role playing next week. Now you're going on to qualifying. And again, it's rinse and repeat. Now, for a lot of you, if that's as far as you go and then you hand it off, you set the appointment, that's fine. If you have end-to-end sales reps from insights, where they start all the way from start to finish, opening to close, they're going to need to know how to do a presentation, handle objections, and close. Then we do the same thing. Starts right here with the presentation, the mini quiz, the step-by-step guide, right? You're going to watch a lesson on tie downs. And your guide on tie downs, you'll learn what that is in the course and how they're crucial for you closing more business that's out there. Again, it just keeps going through the entire process here. This chapter is a very long one. There's a lot of short mini classes in there, but they're really, really helpful. At the end of that, for the 6th week, right? Follow-up calls, referrals. Again, everything is very consistent on how the program works. There's no guesswork. Week 7 is sales goals. And then you're going to go ahead and have week 8 for time management. There is a final exam for certification, and it's really important. And then it'll show you how, there'll be a video on how to add your certification to LinkedIn, things of that nature, if you'd like. And that's that as far as the actual course goes. One of the questions I get a lot is for the managers, well, how do I see the reports? You're going to have 24/7 reports. Here's an example. You'll have a link. You'll be able to log in anytime you want. You'll be able to see the percentage of the completion. These are just examples, right? But you'll be able to see the completion on what they've been doing. Here's your chart, right? So if they're all done openers and they pass that, then you're going to see this here, and it just keeps increasing as they go through it. With that being said, I hope this part helps and gives you a better understanding of what to expect when they actually start the program. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help answer any questions you have before you get going. Take care, everybody.